payment code. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is International Red Fashion Experience, and the show today is encourage. Be an encourager. Encourage people. Don't discourage and don't disrespect. Be one to enlighten and enhance and make someone smile, make someone happy by encouraging them to do what's right. Be there for them, not against them. Because there's too many people to be hating and criticizing and always looking at the bad and things that people do. Because we all make mistakes. No one's perfect. So we all have bad days and we all have good days. So be one to enlighten a person and make their day bright because you are a part of their life. Or they might have passed you by or something. And like they pay you a compliment, make sure to pay them a compliment and be one to encourage. Because we all need and we all can use encouragement. And the thing about it is that what made me think of the show was I was thinking about some people that I know, and I was talking to them, and they were telling me different things about what they were going through, and I thought to myself, I said, well, we all go through things like that, housing, we all trying to move or be in a better position, where we're trying to live, and they've been where they're at for not very long. They were there about maybe 6 months, and I thought to myself, if you're moving all the time, you're not getting adjusted to what to making yourself happy wherever you're at. And they were talking about the being in a drug neighborhood with drug people. I've been in a drug neighborhood 21 years, and I walk out my door, people are out there on drugs. I encourage them. I say nice things to them. And I don't let them get me down, even though the environment might. But I look bright and I dress nice and look good. And I encourage them by passing them by or saying something in a positive way and enlighten them. And if I complained about my environment, I would have been moved away from here, but I look at it as an asset because I once was in their position, so it always encourages me that I'm not in that position now. So I look at I'm fortunate, and so I try to encourage others. But the thing about it is that this particular person, when he talks, he's always complaining. So I know that that's his disposition, right? But I was going to complain with him. When he started complaining, I could have said, oh, my neighborhood is worse than yours. I got this. No, I didn't do that. I just started telling him that, wherever you live, if you're living in San Francisco and you're in a position to where you're paying low income housing or low income, that you're lucky if you get in a nice place. There's people that get in nice places, don't get me wrong. People that have families, people that are, that have good social workers and people that are, that just happen to get, move into a nice place. And if you have Section 8, you can move in a nice place. But if you're, unlike me, myself, I'm not in Section 8 yet. I'm just low income housing. So there's a regulation on where I can live. Where I live has to be TNDC, and I realize that. So that's the thing there. But people with Section 8, they can move just about anywhere in the nicest neighborhood they can find if the people accept the voucher. And that's what's good about that. But this person is just like me. He doesn't have that opportunity, but he acts like he does. He can just move, by choice where he wants to go. And that's not true, you understand me? Let me shake these people on this phone because they ain't got no business trying to mess with me while I'm on the phone. But the thing about it is that I look at it like this, that I'm just fortunate, from where I came from and where I'm at. I feel great about where I'm at today. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said, from where I've been at 30, 40 years ago. I might have had more money at that time. But as far as being happy, I wasn't happy because I've always had money. I've always been a hustler, a person to get money and always look good. Only time I wasn't really looking good, even when I was in my disease, I made money and did what I did. I just wasn't taking care of being the best I could be like I am now today. But encouraging people is something that each and every one of us can do, and it don't cost nothing. See, that's one thing about encouragement. It doesn't cost anything. You can do that, and it doesn't cost you anything to express that gratitude or, find the good in someone and say something to them. Like there was a lady in a wheelchair, and she was telling me how I looked. And there was nothing looking good about her but her shoes. And I told her the shoes you have on are nice. And she said, oh, they're not as nice as yours. I said, yeah, but yours look comfortable. They were pink and they were, there was something that, if you don't have anything, they were something. And I looked at that and said that to her. And that's what kind of made me also think about doing a show on encouraging. Rather say something encouraging, because when people speak to you or whatever, for whatever reason, because a lot of people come up to me and talk, and I always speak back. I never shun people. You know what I mean? I don't care how they look or what they're doing, or even if they dirty and tore up, I just speak. I don't get all close to them, but I talk to them. You understand? Because that's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Because nobody's better than no one else. We're all here together and we're all equal. So, some might have more money, some might have less problems, some might have more problems. But the point of it is, we're all on this earth together. So if you can be an encourager, encourage someone, you understand me, you might say something that might make them have a better day that whole day. Because I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago, and they remembered me, and I didn't remember them, and they were talking about way on 60 when I said something to them about something. You know what I mean? And they remembered me, and I said, wow. And I didn't remember them, and it's just the idea that when you do good things follow you back. And then I was in Sassoon the other day, and I didn't recognize her. This is a friend of mine, his daughter was there, friend of mine, Phil Muslim, matter of fact, is his name. And his daughter, she came by I was at the office over there, what I call the office, but it really isn't an office, it's actually a donut shop, and they sell barbecue, and they sell fish and chicken and all that. Well, anyway, I was in there, and she came by, and she knew I knew her father some kind of way. And she came there and asked me, she said, would you help me? Would you contact my father? And I called him and told him he came down and went and got her. That was like, I encouraged her to wait around there, and it took him an hour or two to get there. And I bought her some things and encouraged her to stay, because she was going through it. She was on drugs, and people on drugs, they go through things. But she was asking for help. So by her asking for help, I went and called her father, and he came down and helped her. And she's been clean ever since. She remembered me. She told me, she said, you remember that time? For a minute, I couldn't remember her until she explained the situation. And then I remembered, and her father, he said, yeah, man, you don't remember her? Boom, 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 boom. Sometimes you don't remember people, but when they tell you the situation, it makes you feel good because you did something good and it made a difference in their life. And that's what counts, you know what I mean? When you do that and you make a difference in someone's life, you know what I'm saying? That's more precious than gold, and it's more valuable than a lot of things, because by you doing these things, you bless people in that way, and then you have blessings coming your way, By me doing the things I do, I now have a good woman. I'm doing good. I'm happy, and that these are the residues of the blessings and things I did for other people. Because I got friends that they were no good. They didn't do good things like I did, and things come back, what they call karma gets you. They come around and they doing bad. They're not doing no good now. They're by themselves. They don't have anyone to share their life with, and they're doing the same thing they was doing then. Beating and cheating and lying and stealing. And by me not doing that, God has blessed me, and He keeps blessing me, so I keep trying to do what's right. And that's why I want to continuously to be encouraging people, so people will realize that by me encouraging them, when they see me and they see me again, they'll have something good to say rather than something bad. Because a lot of haters, they see you and they want to talk about you because you look a certain way. Then they think, well, since you look that way, you must think you're better than somebody else. That's not the case. It might be the case with some people, but you got to get to know people to know what they're about. Don't think because they wear clothes that they do something. If you got someone that dresses nice and looks good every day, because that's a part of their who they are, but then they're good people because they take the time to love and care for themselves. They're not doing this because they're trying to show out. People that dress up occasionally when they go out to an event or something, those are the ones that have a tendency to be showing out because they don't do it all the time. So they're not comfortable and they're not used to being dressed up. But someone that dresses up all the time, and the reason why I know this is because my mentor, Smiley, which was a good friend of mine, I used to hang with him, and I got a lot of pointers and I learned a lot from him. And he was one that encouraged people. He always talked to people, any level, any rank. He didn't discriminate. He never thought he was better than no one. And he dressed up every day and looked good, you know what I mean? And a lot of people loved him, So it's like you got to be a good person and create good habits and be someone to encourage people, not discourage them. If you encourage people, it doesn't take time. It doesn't take much to do that. It don't cost anything, and you'll be blessed along the line. instead of complaining to them, try to uplift them, and it'll be therapy to you, because the problems you have will be less significant to you. You'll worry about them less, because you'll see that somebody else had a problem that was worse than yours, and you helped them. I had a friend, she helps people, you know what I mean? It's a good lady, a friend of mine. Actually, she's like family. I'll give her a shout out Friday forever. She's gonna be on. I'm gonna be on her show later on today. But anyway, she is a person that encourages people, talks to people. She was doing this for years. You know what I mean? She'd been doing that type of thing, helping people and talking to people and being around people. Well, Friday, she's a product from the church. She goes to church and went to church regularly, and I went to church with her and realized the people from the church, really good churches, people are real. They help you. Some people in church just go there to show. I went to 2 different churches. I went to 3 actually, but I went to the one I'm in now is over in Oakland, my Queen Beverly's church, and that's a good church. But before that, the best church I went to was the one I went to Friday, because they didn't judge you by how you looked. They weren't after you for your money. They were really real about the way they expressed themselves and helped you. Because when I went to the hospital, when I had a hernia operation, the church, those members, they found out I was in the hospital. They came to see me. They were the type that came to see me. The other church, my other friend, this guy named Mike, I went to his church, and within a 2-hour period, they asked for money 3 times. I said, why they keep asking for money? And I get put it in there. But I just thought to myself, and then when I went to her church, they never asked for anything. I don't remember if I did put money up, but they weren't asking you. They didn't come up there talking about, every 5-10 minutes begging for money. And I'm not saying it's because it was a black church. I'm just saying that it was the church I went to. It was a friend of mine, and that's what it was. And this other church was an integrated church. It had all types of people and everything. And they encouraged me. They told me things when they came to visit me. They came at a time where I needed them, and that's why, good people. You when they come to you and you have them in your life, then you spread that joy and that encouragement to others when you get a chance to. Because good people are hard to come by. They're not there all the time. I only got a few people that I can depend on and I can really count on. And why you know this, because when you go to the hospital, you get sick. Who's going to see you? Who's coming? I know I had Friday was there, a friend of mine, and who else at the time? Because this is before I had my queen. Quite naturally, she'd be there if it happened now. But this was before, when I didn't have I had a lot of friends. I had thousands of friends now. And this lady from Australia, her name is Debbie. She came and she brought Roy with her to come to see me when they came. She was there. So certain people that are friends that you may not, you could tell they may not have nothing much as far as financially being in that position, but they're there for you, with love and coming there with comfort and words of encouragement, and coming there, going to see the doctors, asking them what's wrong, when are you going to do this for them, when are you going to do that, showing concern. People, when they see you have that type of people that care for you, the doctors and everybody treat you better, because a lot of people, I went to. Just like I said, people do things for me like that. I do it to them. I went and seen Fast Black when he was. That's the man I mentored, my nephew. I went to see him when he was in the hospital because he had broke his leg and his shoulder. And riding on one of them scooters. And I was there for him. I brought him candy. I went there 3 or 4 times until he went home. I went there to see him. I did that, and I go to see people. I went to see Charlie Walker before he passed away, when he was out there in the hospital. I go to see people that other people say they're going to go see him. Like a few of my friends, I don't want to mention their name. They said, we're going to go. And I waited on them, I wouldn't have went. My queen took me and I went and seen them. And I was glad I did. Same way with my friend, Pretty Boy, the one that's in rest home. I go to see him. I'm going to see him probably on the 30th. But I went to see him before. And I was waiting on these people that said they was going to go. They want to go. They wanted me to take them. They want to go with me. And they got cars, right? But they never went around. They never got around to doing it. So I said, I'm not going to wait anymore. I wanted to go because I know that he wanted to see them. He'd be appreciative to see these people, right? So they're not trying to go. So I said, forget it. But if a couple of other people want to go, and I'll go on BART and we'll catch a cab and we'll do it like that. Because if they're serious, that's how we'll do it. but we will go see them. But the thing about this, I'm going to see people, I'm going to encourage people, because we all may be in that position in our life. And we don't want to be sitting up nowhere and nobody comes to see us. We don't have no friends, and we don't have no. And that's what happens when you don't go see or encourage or be good to people. What goes around, come around. Karma is real, and you have to realize that. Bad things that happen to people will happen, and it happen for a reason that you would not understand. So you have to be true, and you have to be right, and you have to do things that are encourage people. Be one to encourage people and try to be on the right path with people. Because you want to make sure that when you live this life, you want to live the best life, and you want to be happy as you can be, and you want to be one to encourage. You dig? Not discourage. And don't hate. Congratulate. Don't be hating people. People hate, and people, do those things. You see people that do that. Don't go along with it. If somebody's telling you something and you know it's wrong, right? Don't go along with them to get along with them. Don't go along with what they're saying to get along with them. Don't do that, because they won't be right, and they'll be thinking you're on their side. That you think that what they're doing is to be approved. And I did this to this one guy. I was sitting around there with a friend of mine, Roy, and 2 or 3 other fellas. And this guy was hitting, talking to these women that were 18 years old. And this man is 48 years old. And I told him, you know what I told him? I said, look, man, that's not right. That's not right to do that. I said, that's not right. You're old, and you shouldn't do that. It don't look right. It's not right. And he said, no, what are you doing, trying to be a child molester? I said, no, it just doesn't look right for you to sitting with us and you're talking to these young girls. It makes us look bad. When you're with us, you make us look bad, But he didn't want to hear that, and he got mad at me. But I told him that because I told them after he left, I said, you know what? I don't care if he ever comes around and sit around me. If he can't see what I'm telling him is right, then I don't want him to be around me when he's wrong, because he's going to get me in trouble and the rest of you. You shouldn't want to be around somebody like that that's, doing something that's wrong. When you try to encourage them and tell them what's right, they don't want to hear it. No, see, there's a time where I used to just go along with people that did that, right? To get along, I don't care now. I'd rather them get away from me and don't be a part of me, because I don't need them on my side. When I was in the chicken place, I got along with people because they were buying things from me, right? I had reasons to get along with them. I had my reasons, People say, well, why you that man? That man ain't right. They'd be sitting there talking about homosexuals or talk about somebody, and whatever. And then I wouldn't say nothing because I wasn't trying to get into that. I was selling the movies, and he come over there buying my movies. I would listen to him and say, yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. That's different, because you're doing what you're doing because it's part of your job. But when you're doing your thing and you're getting along with people and you're enjoying your life and you're retired like I am, you don't have to kiss nobody's butt. In other words, you do what's right because it's the right thing to do, and it's what you do. And if they don't take what you're saying as right, and you encourage them to be right, but hey, if they mad and go get away, go. But don't stand on your principles and morals and standards. Don't be less of who you are. Be all you are. Don't be less of who you are to compromise, your relationship with those people. If they can't go along with what you're saying and they don't see what you're saying is right, then you let them go. If they want to do that, do it, but don't do it around me. You can do what you want to do, but don't do it around me, because you're making me look bad. And then he would call people over and say, I know him because everybody likes me because I dress unique every day. So I get a lot of attention. But when people give me attention, I speak to them and that's it. I don't be trying to hit on them. Here you are trying to hit on people behind what they're saying to me, acting like you know me or you're a friend of mine. See, that's the thing I don't like and I can't stand. And I check people about it. You check people, and then you encourage them to do what's right. And if they don't accept what you say when you say what you're doing to encourage them to do right, then when you just get them out of your life, that's all. Get them out of your life. People do that because they're haters anyway. Because if they wasn't a hater, they would understand what you're saying, and they would take what you say, and they would consider that as the right thing. When people think they're right all the time and they never take what you say is right, when you tell them something, well, you don't need to be around them nowhere when you're right. Now, it's all right if they tell you and say, well, no, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm this and that, and everything. And they know what they're doing, and they're doing it, and it's right, then that's cool. But when they do it and they say, well, I won't do it around you, I'm sorry, whatever, that's cool. But if they're doing it around you and you tell them not to do it and they still do it and they say and they're gonna be around you. No, and you have to insult them and tell them you're not going for it, and then they'll leave and they'll be mad at you. But it's better for them to be mad at you than to be taking you down with them. Like if the police come to you, and he does something to them, and you're with them, then they're gonna take you to jail too. You know, if he was with you, and then later on he met that girl there, and then he seen her later, and he mentioned you and all that, and then he does something, you'll be involved. They might tell you to go to court and all that. No, you don't need it. You don't need to be around those kind of people. People that are not right, you don't need to be around them. People that are zeros, you don't need to be around them. Be around the heroes, because it's no good to be around people that are like that and that have that type of attitude. You know, you got to be around people that you can encourage, and people that encourage you. You know, they'll tell you what's best and tell you right. And that's why friends I have and people that I associate with, they do that. You know, they do that in a heartbeat. And that's why you have to listen to them and take that under consideration. I know there was a time I used to be hard-headed and I wouldn't listen to people. I'd say, yeah, and I think I knew it all, you know, but no, you don't do that. You got to give people a chance. And the people that you care about, you got to listen to them. If you want them to listen to you when you tell them something, you got to listen to them. It goes both ways. It's not always one way. And some people think it's like that. That's why I got a sister I'm not talking to right now. You know, and I'm not going to give her a shout out because the one I'm talking about, we ain't talking, and it's because she ain't right. She'll talk about one friend of mine, and then the minute I get a woman or something, then she'll talk good about that one and talk bad about who I'm with. You know, that's not right. You're not right. You just don't want to see me happy. When I could have been talking about your mate because he's not good, but I didn't because I'm looking at the best. And I'm looking at your interests, and I want you to be happy. But evidently, you ain't happy because if you was happy, you wouldn't be trying to get in my business. But that's a different story. But the point of it is, people that you can encourage and don't want to listen to you, and you try to give them encouragement, but they try to tell you what you need to do, but don't listen to you, you don't need to be around them. You got to get away from them. And I don't care if it's family, friends, if it's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. If you can't get along with them, don't be around them. Because they got to respect you. And that's what they try to do. Due to the fact that they're family, they're close to you, they think they can disrespect you for something you might have done wrong years ago or because they don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They'll be trying to tell you what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, for whatever reason it is. They shouldn't do that, but they will do it. You know, and you'll be saying to yourself, why did you, and nothing you can do to satisfy them, because you could do it and you'll think that, you know, when you do that, they'll be happy for you to do it. No, do what you want to do. You know, this was years ago. My sister told me, you know, I was you know, involved with white women at the time, and she said, you need to get you a strong black woman. Boom. So then when I got a strong black woman that was stronger than her and had it going on, she couldn't take it, and she was jealous and she was hating at that time, right? So then later on, you understand me, things happen, and we always get into it when I got things that I was happy with going for me. You know what I mean? Anytime I'm doing better than her, she gets mad. You know what I mean? So it's like she ain't really happy for me. She just wants to see me not do as good as her. You know, that's how that going. I realize that now. You know what I'm saying? Because with my cousin, I was with my cousin, and she got mad at my cousin because my cousin got me straight when I was doing bad. This sister wanted me to do bad. She didn't care about me doing good. You know, but the minute I got to doing good and my cousin was like number one in my life, she got mad at my cousin and said, you trying to take my brother away. What kind of attitude is that? You should be glad that your cousin got your brother on the right track. And she didn't have no money or nothing. All she did was show love. My sister had all the money but not showing love. See, that's why I said that I know that happiness, money does not buy happiness. You know what I mean? If someone shows you love and they're in your family and they can help you, this was 20-something years ago. That's how long I've been clean. My cousin got me clean. This was like 27 years ago. And she did that, and she did it through love, you know what I mean, and respect. And that's what people have to realize. It ain't what you have, it's how you treat people and the words you use and the way you treat them and give them respect. And they'll turn their life around when you have faith in them, you know, rather than treat them like they're a child. You know, that's not the way to do, you know. But anyway, getting back to the show, because I only got a few minutes left. But encouragement is the thing to do. Encourage people that'll change their life, that'll stop someone from drinking, that'll stop someone from doing drugs, that'll stop someone from doing a lot of bad behavior things. If you give them confidence and give them strength and give them faith and let them know that you're in their corner, and be real with them. Be real with them. Be straight. Tell them to them like it is. Don't be beating around the bush. A lot of people be around people, and they don't care about them. They just around them because they got money, or because they can get money from them and all that type of stuff. That's no way to be. But I know years ago that's why I never really got with anyone at the time when I was having money, because people would be with you for the wrong reason. When I had cars and money and all that, and I couldn't find a good woman, but I'd have pretty women around me all the time, because when you have those things, that's what you have. But you got to realize that they're not going to be there for you. The minute you lose the car, the clothes, and you lose the money, they're gone. They're not really there for you. But when you get somebody that's there for you, whether you have it or don't have it, that's when you know you got someone. Someone that's there for you. Whether it's a friend or whether it's a relationship. I got my friend Pretty Boy, he's with me. When I had my cars, he was there with me. Then when I didn't have my cars, we would catch the bus together. We were together through thick and through thin. We didn't change how we felt about each other when one of us had some and the other one didn't. We still was the same way. And that's when you know you got a real friend. And that's why right now, today, I go see him in the restaurant and do what I do, because I know he was there for me and we was there for each other throughout years. And we went to high school together. And he's the only friend I got now that I could count on right now today, even though he's in the restaurant. But my other friend, Danny, we ain't talking. And I met Danny the same time in high school, all around the same time, 50-something years ago. But see, him, we ain't never going to be right, because he messed up with me when I told him what was right. I told him the real deal, right? And he couldn't take it. But all the time he want to be, think he can criticize and do things that's not right. I'm not going for it. I'm not going to let you do that. If you're stealing and doing something that I don't approve of, and I tell your so-called woman or associate, somebody I think you look up to, and you get mad because I told them so they'll check you, and maybe you have respect for them and won't do it, because you did it around me and you wouldn't stop. But then he got mad and cut me loose. But that's cool, because that lets me know he can't handle the truth. If you can't handle the truth, then I go, because I'm gonna try to encourage you to do what's right, because it's the right thing to do. Because you're too old to be doing things that's wrong. You're 70 years old and you should know better. And anytime someone's at that age and you can't encourage them to do what's right, and they keep doing the same thing over and over, then you don't need them in your life. So I'm great. I celebrate him not being in my life. I'm not missing him or having any words about not being around him. It's just the only one I miss being around is my friend Silky, and he tells me the other day, when I told him I went and me and my queen won best dress at the Players Ball, and he told me, you wearing all them suits, you need to buy food, you don't need to be buying all them suits. And he was wearing suits and got more suits than me, but he don't wear his. I tell him, man, wear your suits. Man, be good, go out, man, stop tripping. I said, you'll be going out in a few years. Stop thinking like that. He want to think, no, I'm not wearing my suits no more. I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Well, don't change your lifestyle because you had a stroke and you did that happen to you because you didn't go see the doctor when your head was hurting. Simply that. Don't blame the world on that, and don't stop living because of that. Keep living and keep going, because you're thankful and grateful that you're here. You made it here. Just don't be talking about what you're not going to do. Live life to the fullest. Enjoy yourself. I'm enjoying my life, being my queen and doing things. We went to a movie thing. We're in a movie, Pink Diamonds, and we had our pink on, and we went there, and they grabbed us and put us in the movie. So we're in the movie Pink Diamonds. We doing things, and we went to a recovery day in Oakland for $1 bill. We living. We ain't standing back, letting no grass grow up under our feet. You know what I'm saying? I'm 72, and I'm going to live to the most of my ability. I'm not going to let nothing stop me, and I don't think no one else should. Live your best life, you know what I mean? And live, whatever your health condition is, you live the best of your ability. If you can get around and stay down. Anyway, this is the end of my show, ladies and gentlemen. I have to come to a conclusion because I'm right at 29 minutes and some seconds, and it's time to go because it's the end of my show. Coming up on 30 seconds. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you go because it's the end of my show.